So happy Easter, Passover, Ramadan, and welcome to the Lehigh Valley Photography Club Focus Exhibition Awards Ceremony. That's what they call a superfecta. Check it out. I never heard of it before, but that's what it is. My name is Don Schroeder, and I'm the chairperson of the exhibit. This is our 6th year in the community gallery of the Allentown Art Museum, where we have 82 members displaying 82 outstanding images. We also have a record number of members who did not exhibit in previous years. This is our 3rd year where we standardized the framing, matting, and printing to give the show a more uniform museum quality look. The exhibition is displayed in 7 categories: floral, landscape, man-made, nature, open, people, and travel. A best in category is going to be awarded to each image in the category, or to one image in the category. There is, of course, the best in show, as well as 9 honorable mentions. And then there's also the Janet Dean Memorial Award. The judging was done yesterday by the director of the Pennsylvania Center for Photography, Henry Rowan, and award-winning photographer, author, and educator, Joe Edelman. They took the responsibility very seriously and spent more than 2 hours judging the show. Today, Joe, who is here, and Henry, who couldn't make it, but we recorded yesterday, will announce the winners and offer their comments. We'll display each image on an easel as comments are offered. Here's an overview of the awards. Best in Show will receive $300 for the club, or from the club, a $100 gift certificate from Friendship Framing, and a ribbon. Best in Categories will each receive $100 from the club and a ribbon. Honorable Mentions will each receive $25 from the club, a $25 gift certificate from Dan's Camera, and a ribbon. The Janet Dean Memorial Award will receive $50 from the club and a certificate. Roz Bachman, a close friend of Janet, will tell you more about Janet and present the award. I want to thank Irene Smith, who is our contact at the museum, as well as all the staff members, who just every year they welcome us with open arms, and it really is such a pleasure to work with them. And I encourage you to become a member. Doesn't cost all that much, and it's a good thing to do. I want to thank members Bob Becker, Jackie Spearley, and Catherine Fisher for helping me do the exhibit setup. I could not have done it without them. And Sharon Merkel for designing the exhibition booklet that will be available for sale shortly. And I encourage you to pick up a copy. I want to thank the judges, Henry Rowan and Joe Edelman, for their time. I want to thank our sponsors, Dan's Camera, and Friendship Framing. And finally, I want to thank you, the members, for supporting the club and helping make this show possible. The show runs until Sunday, May 7th, and I encourage you, all of you, to visit and invite friends and family. The admission is free all the time now. They have a big big benefactor, yes. And last year you had to pay, and this year it's free all the time. Thursday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I think that's about it. Thank you, and let the awards begin. Yep, so Joe Edelman.
All right, Don, thank you. Folks, if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, I'd like to piggyback on one thing that Don said, and that is, thank you for being photographers. As I stand here in this room, I got to tell you, this presentation is incredible. This is now, I believe, the 3rd time I've had the opportunity to be a judge for this competition. And I will tell you straight up, and Henry also expressed the same feelings, it gets harder every time. So for those of you that are both members of the club and participating in this, congratulations, because the quality of work that is here is really incredible. This was not an easy task. So you might have already guessed, we're going to start with the people category, which is the image that you see right next to me here. So congratulations to Jordan Basin. This image, to me, as soon as I saw it, when I walked up to the wall with these images, kind of really harkens back to W. Eugene Smith. And if you're not familiar with his work, you should do a little bit of research because there's a lot you can learn from it. But I love the fact that this is an image that simply demands your attention. It grabs you, it forces you to make a connection with this subject and really consider the subject. I will have to admit that I personally am a little bit of a constant and continuing fan of black and white imagery. So, I really love the strength and the power, and most importantly, the simplicity in this image. So Jordan, congratulations. Okay. All right. And next up, we're going to do, what do we have, Don? It says open or man-made? Okay. So the next one, while Don's switching those around, I will tell you that this category of open was actually quite a challenge. And part of the reason why it was quite a challenge is not only is there some incredible creativity in this category, but also it's a very broad category. So certainly the creative choices and the creative options that were open to photographers is really, really broad here. But the image that took first place, you see it here by Jackie Spearley. For me, I'm known for people pictures, but I'm secretly a fan of abstract photography. And I really love seeing abstract images that are done in camera. And while I haven't talked to Jackie and I don't know for a fact that this was, I'm betting money this was done in camera, which very old school, but that's kind of what makes it neat. I love the color palette. I personally am known for bright, bold colors. So it takes a lot to get me to connect with softer pastel colors. And I think this image does it absolutely wonderfully. So congratulations, Jackie. Okay. All right. And then the last of my three categories is the man-made category. First place goes to Brian Hager. I have to admit, at first pass, this image made me think of some of the work that I do. But what really held my attention and what really grabbed me with this image is, aside from its wonderful color palette, there is a grittiness to it and a texture. So I would encourage you either come to the museum and see it up close, or make sure you check out the digital files online. But the texture really is incredibly moody, a lot of really, really interesting detail and very, very subtle colors. Even though at first pass, the palette is this kind of simple blue and gold, it's actually got a lot of really interesting color mixed in with that. So Brian, congratulations. Okay, and so I had, I had 5 honorable mentions to award. For the honorable mentions, both Henry and myself, we were able to award those in any category. Even though we judged different categories, we could award the honorable mentions in any category. So this one, congratulations to Mark Gittleman. This was entered into the nature category. For me, it's all about the simplicity. It's a very simple, very elegant composition, but I love the color palette. The little tiny touch of red on the bird really, kind of makes things pop. And just the fact that even though the background is very, very soft, there's just enough detail to kind of make it interesting and really keep you involved in the whole frame. So very, very well done. Okay. All right, the next one for me came from the open category. This is from our club president, Robert Becker. This image kind of jumps off the wall at you. And I promise you, I'm not just saying nice stuff because he's standing right in front of me. This image, it really does. And I told him yesterday after we finished the judging, I'm not a fan of old school still lifes. So I wanted to find a reason not to like this image, but you have no choice. From a technical standpoint, this image is absolutely incredible. The subtleties in the lighting, the way the image is exposed, incredibly well done. So, I have to give Bob a lot of credit because this image for me is a win on 2 counts. One, it's an incredibly technically well done image, but it's also just a beautiful image to look at. The color palette, the subtleties, really, really great. Okay. Next up. All right. I told you I have a little bit of a soft spot for black and white images. So this one comes from the man-made category. This was Barry Good. So Barry, congratulations. At first pass, even though it's a very different subject matter, this print kind of gave me an Ansel Adams type vibe to it. Of course, that dark, blue sky, almost black, took me back to my film days with a number 25 red Ratten filter. I love the tonal ranges in this image. I love the blurry clouds. I'm assuming that was probably done with a slow shutter speed. It's just a very simple and yet elegant combination. Well printed, well exposed. Congratulations, Barry. All right, and now we're back to the people category with an honorable mention. This one's from Heidi Call. Heidi, congrats. I love this image. I love the mood, the feel, the color palette. Obviously, I'm a people photographer. I love shooting portraits. I also love doing portraits where the subject is looking straight down the barrel of the lens because it also forces a connection. For me, what makes this really interesting with the overlay, the subject kind of looking through that overlay, it makes the viewer work a little bit harder, but that stare, it kind of forces you to do it, whether you want to or not. So really, really well done. Congratulations. Love the shot. We have one more. And this one's also from the open category. And this is another one that's a little bit of kind of an abstract type image. Janet Geisler, congratulations. Again, for me, I found a lot of images in the competition this year that really struck me because of the color palettes. This one has a very simple kind of, almost a duotone type color palette. But I also like the fact that this really kind of forces itself against a lot of the traditional compositional guidelines. Just enough that you kind of connect with it. You want to look at it. You really want to consider what's there, but it also creates its own feeling with the color tones and with the way the image is laid out. So congratulations, great stuff. Okay. All right. So those are mine. And I believe now we have.
Hi, my name is Henry Rowan. I'm the Executive Director for the Pennsylvania Center for Photography, and I think this is my third time that I've judged this show, and it's always a great show, and I'm very happy to be here. A wonderful group of work. All the participants are to be credited with creating some great imagery. And on that note, we're going to start with the Best of the Floral category. The Best of Floral category goes to Lorinda Fay for her image, Aurora. It's a beautiful image, and one of the things that I liked about it is it immediately grabbed my attention when I walked into the room. The colors pop off, it's sharp, and she's focused on the little world, meaning tiny little flowers and seeing a unique perspective that most people just walk on by. So my hat's off to her for catching a shot that most of us wouldn't have ever seen. The next one up is the Best of Travel, and that goes to Joan Dooley for her image, Umbrella. And what I really liked about that was the simplicity of the image, the coloration, and it evokes a lot of emotion. It's a picture of something that we've all felt, and we can relate to it. And that's what I'd like to see. It's very well created. Just love this image. You can see a little bit of motion, blur probably from the wind, and everything just works with this image from my perspective. Great image, Joan. The Best of Landscape goes to Vince Pellegrini, and this is a really nicely done abstract landscape, very reminiscent of some of the old-time photographers, Win Bullock, and see a little bit of Weston in there. Very nicely created image. The tonality is good. I love the lines, and It's a nicely done image. I like seeing people working in black and white again and doing a good job in it. And Vince did a great job with this image, so congratulations, Vince. This is for the best of nature category, and this goes to Patricia Falco, and her image is called Pacific Sea Nettle Jellyfish. And it's a great image. It's sharp, it's clear, and it flows. It actually just works. And sometimes we tend to overthink our photographs and we try to add more in. A lot of times what you're really looking for is simplicity. You just want to convey your message. And she's presented a great image here and I love it. So congratulations, Patricia. We have an honorable mention in man-made, and that goes to Richard Cox for his image called the Brooklyn Bridge. And it's a unique view of the bridge that I haven't seen done very well in the past. And he's done a great job with this one. It's very symmetrical, which adds to the effectiveness of this image. And the black and white quality is quite good. It's a well thought out, well executed image, and congratulations to Richard. My next honorable mention goes to Louisa Reeves for her Wilted Love image, and this is a very nicely done still life. Again, it's somewhat simple. The lighting is good on it. The tonality is good. The colors are good, and it's an image that a lot of people would like hanging in their house. So we don't always have to get wild with our photography. Sometimes we just have to produce stuff that people want to see. And this image certainly falls into this category. Congratulations. My next honorable mention goes to Jason Stewart in the landscape category. And his image is called As Above, So Below. And it's a very nice, soft image. It's very pleasant to look at. The angle's very nice. It was well thought out and well shot. And sometimes the difference between a good shot and a mediocre shot is just in how you're positioning your body and where your camera's going. He looked like he took a relatively low angle here and picked up the reflection very, very nicely. It's a really nice, nice photograph. So congratulations to Jason. And my last honorable mention goes to David Voros in the travel category for his shot from Avignon, France called Hats Off Avignon. And it's a cool shot. It's fun. You know, there's no reason why photography can't be fun. And you know, obviously, if he was in Avignon, he was traveling, and I assume he was having a good time because that's a great shot, and it just reflects the city itself. So, congratulations to David.
Okay, so for our best of show, before I put it on the easel, I also just want to share one little anecdote about this image, and that is that when you come to the gallery and have an opportunity to see the prints in person, this is actually one of the smaller prints that's entered into the competition. So I think the moral to the story is good photography is the key. But I will say from a personal anecdote, as a young photographer growing up in the 1970s, I was heavily influenced with my choices of color and even composition by a photographer that some of you may have heard of. And if you haven't heard of him, Google him. His name was Peter Turner. And this image in particular, Henry and I both had the same comment when we saw it, and it was about Peter Turner and the type of image it is. So I want to congratulate for Best of Show this year, Sharon Merkel, with her image, which she has titled Urban Order. For me as a photographer, there are a lot of things that I love about this. One, it is a color palette that I wouldn't generally use. And since I'm a photographer that's very much into color, anytime I get a color palette that's out of my wheelhouse, it makes me pay more attention. Secondly, I just absolutely love the lines, the diagonals, the verticals, the horizontals, and the unevenness of it. The fact that the balance is not predictable. It has almost this random quality to it, but yet just like Sharon's title, there's also an order to it at the same time. So Sharon, congratulations, best of show. And I believe we have Henry's comments queued up as well.
The Best in Show winner is Urban Order by Sharon Markle, as Joe has said. And I have to say that we had absolutely no debate between ourselves on which one should win Best in Show. This is a marvelous image, and it thrives on its simplicity and its geometry and its technical excellence. It's just a marvelous image to look at, and it's a marvelous image to study as well. It's very well created, beautifully done, and my hat is off to Sharon. That's just a marvelous image. Congratulations, you did a great job.
Hi, I'm Rosbach. This is the second year that I've been asked to present the award honoring the memory of Janet Dean, who passed away in January of 2021. As many of you know, Janet was an accomplished and awarded artist in photography, painting, and pastel, as well as a custom picture framer. She contributed many years to the Lehigh Valley Art Alliance, the Scholastic Art Program, and most especially the Lehigh Valley Photography Club, where she served on the board as the exhibition chair. Janet was our crunchy granola girl. She was a free spirit, always willing to help those in need and stand up for a cause. She was dedicated to the promotion of the arts and the protection of animals and the earth. She was recycling and composting before it was cool to do so. She saw the importance of conservation and the beauty in nature. In fact, she was known for her incredible landscapes with her dramatic skies. Janet once told me she painted and photographed the weather. This award is graciously given by the Lehigh Valley Photography Club Board in her memory, celebrating outstanding nature and landscape photography, as that was Janet's main focus. See what I did there? Focus. Anyway, yeah. The winner of this year's Janet M. Dean Memorial Award for Outstanding Nature and Landscape Photography is David Pollock for his photograph, Golden Field. Janet would have loved this image, the dramatic sky, and she would love the fact that she's still able to support the arts, even from beyond. Congratulations, David, and thank you.
So that wraps it up for the award ceremony. Appreciate everybody viewing and watching. I encourage you, there's still time to come down today, maybe after dinner, well, maybe before dinner. And I think it closes at 4, and you can have the opportunity to view the show. The next time the museum is open is Thursday at 11 a.m. So again, today's a good day. Take advantage of it. So thank you. And what's that? Oh, yes. So before, right after I leave, we're going to project the video winner, or the winners of the Focus show from Best in Categories, honorable mentions, and the Janet Dean Memorial Award. Thank you.